Hey everybody, this is Trevor and welcome to the presentation today. I'm going to cover a very specific topic that most likely if you're listening to this, you may have an eBay temporary suspension on your account, and we want to just show you how to handle it because in most cases it's just a simple misunderstanding and there's a way to get it fixed. Let me give you an example. This happened to one of our clients this week. And I'm going to show you a copy of the email that they were sent. I'm going to blow this up just as big as I possibly can to see if you guys can see it all right. There we go. I know that's kind of small still, right? So I'll zoom in a little bit more, but this is probably as close as I can get. I'm going to read part of it to you. This is an email my client got out of the blue. Just to give you a little bit of background, she'd been working with me for like I don't know, a month maybe 4 weeks, something like that, give or take a few weeks. And she got this email randomly from eBay showing that her account was suspended. In fact, here at the top it says, a review of your eBay account has raised some concern that your use of our services may not meet the guidelines in eBay's user agreement. That's the opening statement there. And it says, as a result, we've taken the following action on your account. And then it shows 3 little items up here at the very top. One, it says selling privileges have been temporarily restricted. You won't be able to list new items or revise current listings. You're also not allowed to register a new account. So they almost just put a freeze on her account. And it says some or all of your listings may have been removed. And if you guys look kind of at the bottom of the message here, you see this big list. These are all listings that were being pulled off, or that were deleted off of eBay, taken off. So it says some or all of your listings have been removed. Any removed items will be listed further down in this email, and those are the items there. And then the third thing says we have credited all associated fees except for the final value fees of your listings. So in other words, what eBay did is, for some reason or another, and we're not entirely sure why because she didn't do anything wrong, she was just listing like normal, starting to do the retail strategy, had a bunch of listings up. I suspect eBay periodically does this to random accounts. In fact, I know they do because over the years I've seen this happen to a few of our clients where you're just listing like normal and then all of a sudden, boom, eBay looks at your account and decides to just check to make sure it's legit. Because the thing that eBay struggles with a little bit is that there's some illegitimate accounts that are set up, and they just try to catch those accounts so that their customers are safe. So I guess that when they saw her account, maybe it was because her account was relatively new and she had a lot of listings up. Maybe it was just a random spot check. I'm actually not 100% sure why. And we'll probably never know because if you call in and ask eBay, they never tell you. So like this is really all the information you're ever going to get. In fact, I've tried multiple times. I've called eBay on behalf of some of my clients and they play their cards pretty close to their chest. They're not going to tell you exactly why they decided to temporarily suspend the account. So no, there's nothing you can do but just kind of comply with what they ask. I'm curious, with those of you guys who are here live, have any of you had this issue before? I suspect no, because it's pretty rare. But I'm curious. Anybody who's had any sort of like temporary suspension or temporary ban from eBay? No? Yeah. I mean, I got to say, out of the thousands, and no exaggeration, because we've worked with thousands of clients over the years here at this company, I think this has probably happened just a handful of times, and we've always been able to get the account back by using what I'm going to show you today. Yeah, so it doesn't look like you guys have had any issues, and that's good. In the rare chance that this does happen, we just want to make sure you're prepared. So if you look down here, it says to appeal this restriction, you'll need to, and then it says upload the information we've listed below to this certain link. So eBay gives you a link. You'll log into your eBay account. If you click on this link here, it takes you into where you can appeal the restriction, okay? And then it says important, make sure that your name and username appear on each document that you submit. If this information isn't included, it can't be processed. Also, please be sure your submitted documents are current, valid, and legible. Okay, so here's what they want. Okay, number one, in this specific case, and they can ask for different things, but in a lot of cases, number one, they want a readable copy of your driver's license, front and back, or some other government-issued ID. They probably want that just because they want to make sure you are who you say you are. They're trying to make sure that in this case, this isn't some sort of scammer, someone who's not who they say they are. Okay, so they want the driver's license. The second thing they want is a copy of a recent credit card statement, bank statement, or utility bill. It says your name and billing address should be visible and consistent with the information registered to your eBay account. So in other words, they want to further verify you are who you say you are, and they want to see evidence that your address and your name that corresponds with that driver's license is the same address and name that's on your eBay account. So in this case, Mike, I had my client just do some scanning, some photocopies and stuff, and create a couple of documents that they could send into eBay. In fact, she just took, these days, a lot of us have smartphones, so she just laid out her driver's license, took a picture, flipped it around onto the back, took a picture, and used one of these, it might have been a utility bill, I can't remember what she used exactly, but took a picture of that, and then those pictures she just uploaded to this specific link that's listed here, okay? So the first two are real easy to handle with your driver's license, and then the utility bill or the bank statement. That's easy because that information should correspond to the account, which it did. The last one is where it gets a little sticky. They ask for the third thing that they need. They say they want documentation, including manufacturer's invoices and receipts that shows that you purchased the items recently listed for sale on eBay. So those of you guys who are listening live with me, explain to me why that's a problem. Why would that be difficult for this person? eBay wants documentation, manufacturer's invoices or receipts for showing that this person actually purchased these items before they listed it. Why is that an issue for us? Yeah, like we don't have these items. She never purchased these things herself. So Robert, you're exactly right. If we're doing drop shipping, we don't have receipts, we don't have invoices. There's no way that we can fulfill this requirement, right? Before we knew how to handle this issue, one of our clients just submitted only their driver's license and then a utility bill. And then they just left an explanation that said, sorry, we do drop shipping, so we don't have the receipts. And eBay messaged them back and said, well, that's not good enough. You need to have the receipts. So they didn't take it. So you have to give them a really good explanation as to why you don't have the receipts. And I want to show you just exactly how to do that. Okay. You can see all these listings right here that are listed at the bottom of this email. These were all retail listings. I don't know which retailer, but they were all retail listings, and they were all removed, right? Okay. So let me show you how we handle this third issue. Okay. I'm going to show you a copy of an email. Here we go. This is you can leave an explanation when you're uploading your documents, and this is what we put that works very effectively. Okay. We said we are unable to provide you with receipts for our listed items because we're using drop shipping or product sourcing, which is allowed based on your policy found here. Now I referenced this link because sometimes I think when somebody's looking at your appeal, it might not be somebody that's familiar with drop shipping. This is a pretty unique strategy that we use here. It's totally legal on eBay, but it's unique. I would say the vast majority of people who sell on eBay probably just sell their own stuff, or they have their own suppliers that provide them with inventory, but they carry the inventory. Drop shipping is very unique. It's very specialized. And sometimes the typical eBay person just doesn't know much about it. So I always copy this link to them. Okay. You guys who are looking at that, you can see it, maybe write it down so that you have a copy of it. I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's to this page that explains about drop shipping. And we've done this. I've shown you guys this in other presentations, but this is eBay's official stance on drop shipping, which shows that eBay is just fine with it. It's legal based on their policies. You can do drop shipping, okay? So that's what this is. So I just like to reference that to them so that they know about it. And then below we say, as we go on in the email, we say we have a very reputable supplier. Now I'm a little hesitant to tell eBay about my retail suppliers, and I'm hesitant because it's a very specialized strategy. Using retailers is something pretty unique to what we do here. There are other people out there online that use the retail strategy, but it's very uncommon. And I don't like to try to explain the strategy to eBay, especially somebody who's just looking at an appeal. You could try. You could say, well, you know, we list products from Walmart.com, and if they sell, then we have Walmart send them out. And if you could try to explain that strategy, I wouldn't do it. I would instead do it this way. And this is the way that we found that our clients can get their accounts approved and reinstated very quickly, okay? So what I say here is we have a very reputable supplier called productsourcing.com. If any of you guys who are here live with me right now, have you guys heard of productsourcing.com before? It's a drop shipping supplier that's out there. There's actually nothing really that special about it other than they're sort of authorized with eBay. If you're doing drop shipping, eBay tends to know who they are, and they're free. They don't cost anything to sign up with. I'm not going to advocate today that any of you guys go and sign up for them because you really don't need them at this stage. The only reason I'm suggesting it here is if you do run into an issue, we can use them as a reference for one of our suppliers. So we say we have a very reputable supplier called productsourcing.com, and we have an official membership with them. Since they ship the products for us and act as our warehouse, we do not have receipts. And then at the end, you close with, we're very anxious to continue. Let me change that. It's a little typo there. To continue selling on eBay and look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you very much. Okay. That's it. In my experience, they haven't asked for proof of membership with productsourcing.com, so you may not even necessarily need to sign up with them. I usually have my clients do just in that case. And eBay will look at that, and in all cases where we've used this strategy, they've reinstated our clients' accounts, and it's worked out just fine. In fact, I'll show you what the email looks like. This is one that we got recently when the account was reinstated. I know this is really small, so I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, the zoom's not going to be very good. I'll probably just read it to you. It says, thank you for providing the requested documents to verify your account activity. So this is what was given back from eBay a couple of days later. It says, I have reviewed your case and appreciate the additional information that you have provided. In light of the additional details, it has been decided to remove the restriction on your account. Our goal is to make eBay a safer place for buying and selling. We do appreciate your patience with helping facilitate a safe community. So that's it. It goes on to say some other things, but the bottom line is that's the email that was received. So that's how you handle this situation. I can honestly say, as I've worked throughout the years doing consulting for clients, this has happened just a small handful of times, and it is rare. So if those of you guys who are here today live listening to this, if this has never happened to you, it probably won't ever happen to you. But in the odd case that it does, the eBay randomly flags your account and wants to see some proof of the things that you're selling. Well, the way I explained it today is exactly how you should handle it. And in all the cases that we've dealt with this issue, accounts have been reinstated, and everybody's been fine to move on their way and just continue to sell on eBay. Okay, so that should be pretty cut and dry. If you guys have questions, those of you who are here live with me, go ahead and ask now. I'm happy to take a few questions, and then we'll finish up with the presentation. Since none of you have really had this issue, I can't imagine that there's a lot of questions, but I'll leave it open for just a second and see if you guys have any. Yeah, okay. Looks like no questions. I'm glad. I'm glad none of you guys have dealt with this before. But in the off chance it happens, you guys will know just exactly how to handle it. And just speaking about suspensions in general, I got to say that if you've got a membership on eBay, selling there it's a privilege. It's not a right. They kind of reserve the right to close down an account that seems a little shady. So whenever you create an account or you do something on eBay, just keep everything above board. Make sure you always put in your correct address, your correct phone number, your correct name. Try to be selling on your own account. If you have a friend's account that you sell off of, or a neighbor's account, a family member's account, I probably would put an account in your own name. That way it is yours. And in the case of something like this, it's easy to back that up and corroborate that with your identification and your utility bills. It just makes things a lot easier. Because you usually only have one shot. If you get in and really mess up on eBay, you could lose your account. And I don't want to, of course, I don't want to scare any of you guys, because that shouldn't happen for you guys, because you're doing a good job. You're taking care of customers. You're doing things the right way. But it is a privilege, and so just make sure that everything is done above board and you put things under your name, and you should be good. You should be just fine. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the recording, and then I know there's a couple other questions. We'll finish up the recording. For those of you guys who are watching this live, we'll talk here more in just a sec. If you're watching this recorded, thanks for coming along, and hopefully this helps you get your account reinstated if you have any problems. Thanks.